Mm, will we be in here with our improved detection abilities? Possibly. That doesn't matter. I want to talk to the rats.
I've heard powerful undead like the Lighthouse School never truly die, but lie in wait to be resurrected again. Quick! Samson sure is sorry about Desdemona. And for all we know, her ghost's off somewhere pining for him, just as he's pining for her.
Right. We got the cat color. Don't really recall seeing the cat specifically anywhere, but I haven't been able to talk to the animals in the town before, so go around and talk to people a little bit.
It's heating up. Salutations, Source Hunter. I shall be very glad to share what by all means. I'll grant you that the two survivors of that expedition were a bit cowardly, but I can hardly blame them. Everyone wants to go home, even if that means indulging in deception.
New stuff. 77 to 136. 15% chance to set cripple for 3 turns. Yikes. So you constantly need to re-go through this. See what other new stuff that has basically popped up. Chance to set burning status. Blazing Vine Copper Amulet of Earth Resistance. Intelligence. Earth Resistance. Reflect 15% of any damage as fire damage. Alright, we're not particularly using this at the moment. I want to talk to Arhu. He probably knows where the cat collar could be put to some use. I need to visit the prison too. There's the murderer still there. He might offer us a way to get access to the more protected areas there.
I hope your quest fares well, dear hunter.
Lockpicking ammunition. Blacksmithing ammunition. And the amount of gold they have seems to be going up too. Never runs out. There aren't that many cats in the city, and it was owned by some kind of rich guy. So it's either the mayor or Esmeralda.
Sorry, sir.
I've just got back from the realm of fairy. It was lovely, but I should have brought my winter boots.
Did I buy their fairy book at some point?
Sorry, sir.
Book of Fairy Language.
You think that's funny, Private? Sir,
Yeah.
no, sir.
This heavy tome is inscribed with innumerable strange runes and the translation and histories of each. With it, the careful observer could decipher the most esoteric fairy writings.
Attention! About face! To the barracks!
Come on, just goddamn click it.
Recruit!
I'll figure out who murdered Jake before the day's through. Just you wait. Detective Kip is on the case. What on earth would an undertaker want with the likes of Huggett?
Who's Huggett?
Nuts! Be close! That's what's close to you.
Have some pity.
Those dark robed nuts really ruffle my feathers, sneaking around here at all hours of the night.
Okay, dark rope not sneaking around here. Hello, Mr. Beggar. This abandoned house probably has a secret.
Can you spare a coin?
Spying in traps ahead!
Could be that we literally have no chance of discovering that little secret though at the moment.
May the seven bless you, most generous friend.
Right, Esmeralda or Mayor's house? Any cat really.
I'm just doing my duty. For the Legion.
Well, you certainly are my hero. The rock upon which I may rest my weary soul in these
Two-handed
trying and
splitting
troubled
maul.
times.
Never fear, milady. As long as I'm around, no hair on your haloed head shall be harmed.
Technically an axe though. But maul tells me it's crushing damage.
The hunter returns! I hope you are here to shop rather than sleuth.
I can't buy it, it's just displayed. Any chance? Yeah, it's just so. Yeah, it's slashing damage, and it's beautiful. Splitting maul, I suppose. That sort of describes it. Split. Why shouldn't I take all these? No one seems to care. Pretty sure I've seen cats somewhere, so Mayor is ace, I guess.
Brew and spice and stir and churn!
Maxine.
Oh, golly gosh! One who flaunts the highways and byways of silly old Cecile with the easy elegance of a puss with her tail in the air. I do declare such a sight is rather rare around here. But where are my manners? I am Maxine, and you must be one of those hunters one hears so much about. Charmed, I'm sure.
Tell me a bit more about yourself.
I'm the mayor's cat, don't you know? Born and raised on velvets and viands of most exquisite varieties. Maxine rhymes with queen, after all, and dearest. That is hardly a coincidence.
Yeah, further questions.
But of course, darling. Be my guest.
Cecile.
Oh, this quaint little town is a tad too parochial for one of my more urbane tastes. But one has to make do, hasn't one? The fresh sea air does go to great lengths to invigorate one's spirit, that much I'll admit. And it is rather jolly to watch the ships sail in laden with all kinds of exotic wares, full of the little treats the mayor likes to spoil me with. Darling man, he dotes on me so.
Don't you fear the undead?
Heavens forbid! No, fear is rather too strong a term there, hunter dearest. The predator's instinct is a trait we share, you and I. And though those rancid ramblers may not be quite as easy to put to the claw as mice are, I assure you they are just as easily outwitted.
Cats. Such beauty, such grace they have. Magnificence incarnate.
Slick and sharp, it's more like. I wouldn't trust a cat as far as I could throw it. And I'm a world lead cat tosser. Volume 1, Volume 2. But where's the third
Is
one?
there a quest mark for it?
Shamsu.
After defeating a giant sea spider, we found a fancy collar belonged to a certain Sam. Yeah, but who the hell is Sam? Inn might also have a cat, I suppose. There was a dog at the cemetery. Unsinkable Sam.
Never saw you in the king crab before. You're welcome to scratch me behind the ears if you like. I won't scratch back.
Who are you?
I am Unsinkable Sam. At least that's what they call me around here. Used to be a ship's cat, but the clipper I was on sank when I was the only one to wrestle himself free from the waves. The people here were kind and took me in. Been the king crab's foremost patron ever since.
What ship were you on?
A magnificent ship she was. Used to belong to a pirate, I was told. Unlike me, she didn't prove to be unsinkable, though. We hit the cliffs right neath the lighthouse. Not very apt a name for that building, I must say, for no light was shining from it. The moment I hit the water, I writhed around like I would on a hot tin roof. By some miracle, I managed to reach the beach, covered in kelp and smelling worse than a fish's funeral parlor. But I was alive, and that was more than anybody else could say.
You were the only survivor.
So I was. What friends I had. They drowned alongside the rats I used to hunt in the galley. And there I was, all alone. Not that I have it bad here, mind you. I've milk and fish aplenty. Most folks will pet me kindly, and when one of the village girls holds me tight against her ample bosom, I purr up a storm. But I do long for a companion of my own kind. And in that regard, there is no one like Maxine.
Yeah, about Maxine?
Maxine, the mayor's darling pet. So gentle, so fair a feline. The grace of her whiskers, the subtle palette of dyes in her sable coat. She's one of a kind, that cat. She likes me. I know she does. But when I declare my love, she backs away. I don't know why. I have serenaded her and braved many a bucket of water for my efforts. But for some reason, she is not to be swayed. By all means.
What's your take on the undead?
People make a fuss about them because they endanger the lands around the city. They never bother me when I'm out for my monthly walk, though. But still, I do detest them. I mean, they're so unnatural, aren't they? Cats can have 9 lives, but humans are only entitled to 1.
What about the orcs?
Oh, don't mention orcs to me. Worse than dogs, that lot. Sank Walrus Willie's boat right from under him. Best anchovy fisher in the world he was. A loss to us all.
Looks like we'll have to talk to Maxine again. We need to basically get the idea what we will need to do with the color. So why do you detest the other cat? After which, the color is the answer.
Oh, you haven't left town yet, have you? Oh, he's a darling old Tom, isn't he? Paws over tails in love with me, and who can blame him? The feeling's, well, it's rather mutual, actually. But that pet of a puss simply doesn't have a penny to his name. At the risk of sounding as shallow as a spaniel, I can't but admit my love does not come unconditionally. What if we were to have kittens, he and I? They'd jolly well starve, wouldn't they, with an alley cat for a papa? Oh dear Sam, he's such a good old bean. But he does rather reside at the bottom of the scratching pole, doesn't he? And dear me, one must have at least a mite of standards.
Well, that settles it. It's not much, but it's free experience for talking to a few animals.
Where's young Esmeralda these days? Aye, so there's the rub. I am but a stray, and she is the mayor's cat. Oh, I do understand her, I do. She wants a Tom of means, not privation. One who brings home the sardines and the occasional halibut. Would that I still had my collar. Such a marvel it was, as bejeweled as the night sky with precious stones, said to have once been worn by a far-off Maharaja's best hunting cheater. Like the king of all cats I looked when I wore it. A gift bestowed upon me by a princess whom I had kept company during a long and perilous voyage. A precious band of gemstones, lost as I was tossed around by the waves like a ball in a game of catch. Among the waves it remains, I imagine. Won perhaps by a crab who fancies himself a Caesar with it. If only I could be the Caesar again, and Maxine my Caesarina. Winking whiskers! You found my collar? Oh, thank you! Bless you! I shall don it right this instant, and hie me to Maxine as fast as my paws can carry me. You have made me the happiest cat in the world! Indeed you have!
Yes. I still want to talk to the severed head again to refresh what the hell we are supposed to do with him. Because the Black Cove is clearly the place where he was supposed to be brought, but I don't recall what.
Love, look at me.
Why?
I am wearing it. The collar I told you about. The one you told me was but the fancy of a dream. Here it is. A band of jewels, such as no one in Sicile has ever beheld.
Dear me, but that choker looks absolutely fabulous on you. Simply smashing. I can't believe it's real. Oh, darling Sam, you are a Tom of means after all.
That I am, my little tigress. Behold my true collar and marry me. Make me yours, and my very life I shall dedicate to your happiness.
Oh, what a passionate puss you are, my darling Sam. As impetuous as ever. But indeed you do seem to have the right and reason to be. Oh, I shall hold you in suspense no longer. Yes, my dear Sam, I will marry you.
With a word, you have stopped my heart and set it beating anew with untold vigor. Come, my love, my lean-tailed lady. By the fire of the hearth, let us lie and purr the night away.
And so Sam's story has a happy end after all.
There was quite a bit of troubled water to be crossed, but in the end, Maxine turns out to really love him.
So she does. They would have ended up together no matter what, I think, collar or no.
Then Jahan is gonna complain about me wasting time on cats.
It is a pity indeed to see how this treasure of a cat, this pinnacle of nature's beauty, has been corrupted by the wretched mores of man. Base materialism has darkened the purity of her soul and has seized the very throne where love should rest.
Yeah, this is a very romantic view about the purity of natural condition and nature. I think that's all in the head of people.
Let the story of Sam and his beloved serve as an example of this bitter truth. Between two humans, no love is unconditional. So strongly does this sad depravity seep from our every pore that it adulterates the innocence of what should be stainless spirits.
Yeah, this is clearly something that's a problem for Jahan and no one else. Also, love being unconditional is sort of rubbish. The conditions might not be that strict, but there's a limit.
We suffer from the inability to bestow love devoid of logic, devotion devoid of design. Wealth, status, prestige, the carnality of flesh and fortune, those are the true motivators of the affections between a woman and a man.
Yeah, they influence things, but I don't see how that's a bad thing. I mean, otherwise, unconditional would be like whatever that target of affection does, or however its shape changes, whatever it does, no matter how wicked of a thing, that wouldn't affect your love in any way. That's just, it makes no sense. That would be insanity. Of course, those things have an impact. They should have an impact, for God's sake.
Love. It is the name we give a base ambition, a delusion we blindly compel to be true and therefore falsely hold to be absolute. Pity love, and be wary of her too, for she is but a deception.
No, I think Jahan is just a bitter old man. It's like, I think his point of view is something like, if it's not entirely pure, it's totally corrupt, a delusion. What an utterly cynical thing to say. Love is not a delusion. It is one of the great wonders of this world. I concur. Only those who have never truly loved deny the existence of true love. Although I don't think that's where Jahan's objection comes from. Comes from being betrayed by a loved one.
Ha! A cynic, am I? A heart washed in bitter streams because I have come to realize that love is but the vagary of fantasies, the intemperance of puerile minds. I shall not deny that my mind too was puerile once, that I too loved a woman with all my soul, believing her to be...
Yeah, but... so why aren't you loving her now? I mean, regardless of what she did or is, your love wasn't pure, was it?
To be... Ah, enough! Forget what I said. Dig love a grave and there let it rot.
What he's objecting to is... more or less what he fantasized about wasn't exactly reality. Reginald's house, yeah. Need to talk to the head. I feel like I can wrap that up too at any moment, but something crucial is missing. Crucial piece. That being that I have actually forgotten what the hell am I supposed to do with him. Evelyn is also suspect, very much suspect. Evelyn aided the orcs. We have evidence of that. I suppose technically it could also be Delaran. I think Evelyn is the most likely one. She's the one who had the eye after all. I mean the stone.
Don't disturb Master Theliron now.
He's been so busy with his research, the poor dear hasn't had a proper night's sleep in months.
Milk cows.
I give milk. I give wool. And what do I get in return? One way or another, they always try to fleece me. Especially that Evelyn. She's out to get me. I know it. Meh.
Yes, she probably is. Whose tombstone is this? There's nothing really marked there. I mean, what would you bury in your backyard? Not a person, at least.
The earth here seems to have been freshly fertilized and aerated. Obviously, someone has taken great care to maintain this gravesite. Are you sure you want to disturb it?
Freshly fertilized and aerated.
We and our shovels will...
That's right.
As you prepare to break ground, you gaze at the dirt beneath your feet once more.
Why is... just
All right.
Here's hoping we find...
You plunge your shovel into the earth.
Does anybody else smell smoke?
Scholastic. So it's a trap. Just curious what it would be, because it's an unmarked grave. Clearly, game doesn't want me taking a look at it at the moment.
If you think black sheep are weird, try weird sheep.
Right, and the severed head. What exactly were we going to do with him?
A little privacy at last. Out of earshot of that contemptible jester.
Your body.
We can finally speak freely. Where shall we begin? More than anything. But the chances are so slim with the Black Cove utterly infested with Pontius's undead cronies. My poor lost body is among them, sightless and silent in their vile company. For all I know, they're using it as a coat rack. Traveller, if there were any way you would brave the cove's depths and reunite me with myself, you'd be doing me the only kindness I'd have received in as long as my poor memory serves.
So his body is in the ghost death with the pirates. But there was nothing there.
It won't be the worst.
But he gave a lot of warning signs that we should be close. It should be close, should be close, should be close, and nothing. I'm assuming he'll react. He basically reacts if we find what he's looking for. Pontius is pirates, definitely though. Do you already say the same thing that we're so close, we're so close, we're so close?
I can nearly smell myself from here. We're nearly there. I know it. It won't be the worst.
Yeah. Is there any kind of dead body? I doubt it would be here. The goal was... wonder what they're doing with it. Linen. There were Pontius's pirates we had to worry about, really. It rat. What are they doing with your body? I've never went down here. Yeah. Totally forgot. Jesus Christ. Harbor. Well, that probably explains it. I would imagine all the top fights are over here, so we're gonna have to fight some kind of a minor fight. It doesn't particularly matter.
Hold! Our enemies have laid a trap.
That's lot of traps.
Careful now, that's a trap.
Yep. Lot of traps.
Careful now, that's a trap.
Yep. What'll happen to you? You're taking damage. God damn it. Talk to it. Go, for fuck's sakes. Oh. Hate this game. Whose idea was it to make the fucking these sprats so small? Or rather the clickable area so small. Just zoom closer. No, apparently not good enough. And why aren't you talking to it? You should be. I'm pretty sure I've collected a couple of times now already successfully. It's named Rat too. Is it because I broke the group? We have tried it. Yeah, I successfully clicked it. Doesn't work on this track. There's gonna be traps here. Pirate boomers. I don't see why on earth you wouldn't just trigger these here.
I invoke the fervor of flame!
Soaked to the skin.
Here. Purifying fire. Nail bomb. Right, we can explode these, alternatively block wherever the gas is coming from. It's your job.
As good as a new penny. Look out! I see a trap nearby.
Probably a mine here too, where I'm not actually sure. Are we closing? Right, that's the end. Derelict harbor. A little bit to the side, and that's it. What do you mean path blocked? Looks like there's no fighting here. These are not traps. I still don't understand why anyone would disarm traps. An expensive item is wasted.
Back on my feet again.
Maybe you can combine some items to make it permanent. Disarm trap too. There's the button. Metal stick. Medium poison resistance potion. Teleportation scroll. We teleported from here to here. Right. Probably can't walk to there. Right. We have the pyramids. Always forget about them. That's literally the first time I've thought about them in a long time. Who exactly even has them these days? It doesn't matter which one we throw there.
Careful! I've spotted a trap.
So did I. Bow and torn sash.
The seven grant abundance.
I wonder what opportunities I've missed because of not being able to use this correctly. I mean, haven't been eyeing on the situation. Yeah, this is a clear use of the teleportation or the pyramid. I want to throw it. Ah, shit. Well, we can go there very likely. It's good practice for us anyway.
Fortune!
The corpse seems to want to say something, but appears doubtful of your ability to help him. Perhaps one of the source hunters would have better luck.
Nick's diary. Probably don't have to trade that one.
The body stirs. The subtle slouch in its decayed shoulders suggest intense longing. A large, soggy chunk of flesh falls to the ship's floor with a melancholic thud. So this is what's to become of me, it seems to moan. A body with no head, a ship with no captain.
I actually want to trade away from him. It's trivially cheap, so... Want to, yeah, take a pumpkin and a orange?
Dejectedly, it proffers a hand. In its palm is a well-weathered notebook only slightly sticky with rotted corpse ooze. You accept it, taking it by its spine with 2 ginger fingers. Your efforts at not gagging are most valiant. The bereft corpse
So I lost 2 pointless items. Nothing lost. Diary of Nick. Nick, he rasps, his voice thick as a corpse's, his breath reeking of stale rum. Sing to me. Though I continue to oblige, it makes me sick. His madness grows deeper, he's no captain of mine. Another peaceful fishing village ransacked, scorched to dust by Pontius's source machine. I didn't sign up for the slaughter of youths and babes. I'm an entertainer, I work for gold, not bloodlust. I can't stand it no longer. I must confront him before all semblance of his sanity is lost. I heard of his taking an ear or a nose from those who would defy him. But those were only rumors. What might he take from me if my words displease him? No blank pages intervene between the last entry and a series of crude letters. cascading down the page. They seem to spell out dead. Or is it an H at the beginning? Maybe it's just a very poorly done pictograph, but
The body stirs. So this is what's to become of me.
So about your
It
head.
seems to me Nick's body grows cold, then hot. Could it be, after all this time, reunited? Could it be real? Could it be true? Tremors overtake its hands, its knees, and then...
Toes, legs, arms, fingers. A bit more rotten than when I last saw them, but who am I to look a gift self in the mouth? Oh, the feeling of air in my minimally perforated lungs. Of, well, not quite blood, but lovely ooze pumping through my only moderately decayed veins. What a joy it is, my friend. What an absolute joy. Now for my last unfinished business. Pontius Pirate, the animal who consigned me to the peanut-crunching masses. I won't rest until his skull cracks beneath my foot.
Yep. What more can you tell me about your old enemy?
Despicable fiend. No wonder his spirit lingers in this cursed cave. Not even the darkest hell would open its gates to such a perversion of the human soul. He would tolerate no dissent upon his death barge. I dared to raise my voice but once, and his sword was through my throat before I'd even finished my plea.
Yeah, sorry to burst your bubble, but Pontius is already dead.
Dead? Dead, and dead for good? Never to rise again? You're very certain?
Not really.
Well, I would have loved to see him collapse to dust myself, but your assurance is most satisfactory.
Yeah, that could have drastically changed how the fight went.
With my head back on my shoulders and my foes defeated, I owe you a large debt of gratitude, my friend. Here is my pledge to you then. Your enemies from now and forevermore shall be as my own. Call me when you will, where you will, and I will fight beside you. I'm dying to try out my right hook, now that I've got arms again after all. Until we meet again, Source Hunter, I remain your humble bodyguard, eager for your summons.
How?
It was Source that drove Pontius mad, yet it is Source that has kept Nick alive to fight his old foe.
Though we are sworn to eliminate it, there is more to Source than simple evil.
Indeed, the Academy taught us far from all there is to know about this strange magic.
Renegade. I still want to see how am I supposed to call on him in any way, shape or form. Maybe it's impossible. Summon Nick, Slowbug. Summon Zombie Nick in a 15-meter radius for 30 seconds. Nick's attacks deal crushing damage, may inflict a disease. His unique skill may impress or nauseate you, depending on your tolerance for flying limbs. You can only have one summon at a time. So, okay. Has a cooldown, so we can use him constantly. Who gets this though? Well, Roderick has to be the one, clearly. It's also a witchcraft spell, so... No, it's a skill. Some zombie Nick. Come on. And I think we'll leave things here. We've got a lot of things finished and wrapped up this time. That's the important part. Should be a portal here. I doubt we're missing anything here, maybe a trap or two. Still, we might as well look through the containers. And we could have skipped here quite easily if we had common sense to do it. Right. There's really there's some. I think we should go to the Orc Beach again to also look at it, especially the morning Orc, because he doesn't make any sense. It's either a traitor I don't know what else he could be. Or he's deceiving us. I think there's a high probability he's deceiving us. There are other smaller things. We know that the aide to the doctor has contacts with the orcs. So actually, what we should do is go to the reef travel, because we have a new stone to add to that.